All right, well, I made a putt. Should we get out there?
Once I make a putt too, then. All right, let me,
Finally made one.
three. Whatever comes first. Oh! Alrighty. Like I said, one of those three. Like, I'm not bad. I'm clearly not good.
Good putt.
Kenny Bell. I hope that's not foreshadowing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you scared of that?
It's me versus you today, right?
you and me, baby.
All right, well, it's great
Good
to see you. Great to see you.
Good old Jake Butt. Welcome back, everybody. We are finally back with Link Up. We are here with the one and only, the Michigan man, Jake Butt. Jake, appreciate you joining me, man. It's been a long time. We played football against each other in college, and then we played with each other in the league in Denver. When did you start playing football compared to when did you start playing golf?
I was late for football, and this is what I'll do when I have kids one day. I started in 6th grade, so a lot of guys start Pee-wee football. Yeah. I played soccer and basketball my whole life.
Okay.
And actually, I was taking golf lessons when I was real young. I played a little bit of everything. As you can see, golf lessons didn't exactly pay off, so.
I mean, the football did, though, so.
Yes. All right.
Ready? Rock.
Winner goes first.
Let's go.
2 off the first, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
You didn't get a range session.
That's better.
That one's much better. Attaboy.
The shorts were a good call for you.
Yeah, I had to. I was
mean, of all people on the planet to wear pants, I would be the last person.
Uh-oh. We'll go search in the woods for mine, as is tradition.
And the first ever Bell in Butt Cup.
The Bell Butt Cup.
Went right. I'm gonna be up on that hill up there.
Yeah, I think it's on the hill. Good contact.
We're getting there. We're moving towards the hole, which is the goal.
As long as we're advancing it, we're in good shape. Go. Sit down. That's all right. All right, Jake, second hole. I got to talk to you. I'm a Colorado guy, born and raised, and I ended up going to Nebraska.
Okay.
You're an Ohio guy. You went to Michigan. Walk me through that.
I grew up a Buckeye fan, actually. Like, my basement, you remember those commercials where it used to be, like, it was like an infomercial, it'd be like, buy the 2001 commemorative national championship gear, football signed by Jim Tressel, right?
And you get like a coin.
Yes,
like
we had that.
Yeah.
Like, our basement was that.
Love
like,
it.
my best friend growing up was a Michigan fan, and we used to like fight and argue. So I always thought, you know, I was gonna go to Ohio State.
Right.
As scholarships start pouring in, I'm 15 minutes from Ohio State's campus. They showed literally no interest in me. I used to I'd knock on people's doors in high school and mow lawns. I was mowing Tim Hinton's lawn, who was the Ohio State tight end coach.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still in my practice gear. Their director of recruiting was Greg Gillum. I went from kindergarten all the way through high school with his son, Tanner Gillum. He came and spoke to my class in 5th grade for career day. I wrote him a thank you letter and said, "Dear Mr. Gillum, I now know what I want to do. I want to be a football player." So they never offered me, and I took the road less traveled up to Ann Arbor. First ever game was Notre Dame, Michigan under the lights. Yeah. Denard Robinson to Roy Roundtree.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow, this place is freaking
sweet.
Special, you know. And
yeah, I didn't see my ball for 1 second.
That was better contact though. Ooh, that's a root right there.
Yeah, do not hit a root.
Just shatter my wrist here on that.
Straight to IR, week 2.
It's gone right away. I have no idea where that went. Water.
Did it splash?
Well, I don't know actually.
I didn't see a ripple.
Did it?
Might have carried.
Okay.
We'll go take a look. Mine's in the water.
Okay.
With Aquaman. Yes. That is a good golf shot. That is how you draw it up.
That had a chance to run too if you got a little bit friendlier of a bounce
when you go to bed at night, those are the kind of golf shots you dream about hitting.
At some point, we may end up having to work together to try to break par.
Really proud of myself for that one.
That was just sitting way up on the grass, wasn't it?
Sit down.
Sit.
It's a mud bunker. Might be tough. This one could go a long ways. Gotta be careful. Spin. Hit a house.
Get in.
Hit a house.
Kenny and I were together in Denver.
Yep.
Ice tub buddies, contrast buddies.
Not putting buddies, because I can't do that.
No, I saw it going.
You got to Michigan in 2013. That was your freshman year. You didn't redshirt either. You played, I remember, because we played there 2013. That was fun.
Yeah. I remember too, I mean, there were certain instances in the season where like there was clues to how the season was going to go. And the thing was, I think we started 2013, 2014 ranked and had some ugly wins to start the year. But at the point when we played you guys, we knew it was a big game and there was still a lot of hope that our season could be successful, but we pretty much like had to win that game.
Yeah.
And you guys were in control for the most part. Like there wasn't really, a time where as close as it was for the early portion of the game, you guys were really in control from what I remember.
It felt that way a little bit, but God, you guys' defense back then was so good. You guys had 11 hats. I remember watching the film of you guys leading up to that, and I was like, God, there's 11 Michigan hats to the ball every play.
So we just looked it up. That game, 17-14, Nebraska. Nebraska was up 10-0 in the first quarter, and then 10-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
How did you get to, okay, wait a second, no. So it was 10-0 in the first quarter, then Michigan scored 10 straight.
Yeah.
And so it was 10-10.
Then you kicked a field goal.
Yep, kicked a field goal, and you guys scored a touchdown,
Yep.
so. Oh no.
Stay up.
I'll be all right though.
It's gonna fly it.
This is what you're looking for. This is a perfect shot.
This is exactly what we were looking for. Sit down.
Way too much, huh? Just sent it.
That's a really hard shot.
Almost. I mean, Tiger would have struggled with that. No, I'm just kidding. There we go.
That's the one.
All right. That's what I needed the first time. Kenny had 3 for 44 in that game, and I had 2 for 30.
3 for 44 is the most Kenny Bell stat line at Nebraska ever.
How many pancake blocks?
Yeah, exactly. I had 3 catches, but I had 5 blocks. Jake, we got to talk about Headman. I had Bo Pelini, and I adored him. You had Jim.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think our head coaches get a little bit of criticism for, one, their passion, but for guys that played with them, like you and I, how much did it mean to you to have a role model and a head coach like that?
Everything. And, I understand the it's like kind of it's a paradox, It's,
right.
The criticism comes and it's understandable because they're very unique.
Right.
They're hard on their players.
Yep.
They demand a lot. But as a player, it was a mutually understood thing that I wanted to be the best football player I could be, and I wanted to win games, and I wanted to, climb the ladder in the industry. So I wanted a coach that demanded a lot.
Right.
So I understood that and appreciated it. And for Coach Harbaugh, like all you ask from your head coach is to be yourself, be genuine.
Yeah.
I can handle that, even if it means some tough times. And
Some
Jim
hard
is
conversations.
unapologetically himself through and through. So
Yeah.
I look back at my time there at Michigan, with a smile on my face. All right, so I'll tell you one story to kind of encapsulate Jim. So we became Jordan my senior year, and we got these snow boots, these Michigan branded snow boots, and I don't even think they sold them in stores. Like I think it was just a gift they gave to the team. And I'm back on campus with my dad like the following winter. It was snowing and wet outside. My dad's walking around in his work boots. He had driven up from work in his work shoes, dress shoes, wears a suit. And Jim's giving us a tour, my dad and I, giving us a tour of the facility. They had made some changes. He's wearing the Michigan boots. And my dad's he's not afraid to say what's on his mind. So he asked Coach Harbaugh, he's like, Coach, those are really nice boots. Can I get a pair? So Jim goes back to our equipment guy, Gary, and says, hey, Gary, Rob Butt, he would like a pair of these boots. Do we have an extra pair?
Yeah.
And Gary's like, no, Jim, these were very exclusive. So Gary's like, sorry. And Jim looks at my dad, he says, what size are you? My dad's like, 12. Jim's like, I'm 12. Takes off his boots, gives them to my dad. We still had 20 minutes left on the tour. He walked around the entire tour in his socks. And just gave my dad, and my dad to this day still has those snow boots. So, maybe you're on the green.
No, that ball's gonna be wet. Oh yeah.
Nice. Some get hyped up for the hole-in-one. That's a 4-iron. I'm sitting pretty, so now the pressure's on. Now I got to score with it.
I'll go first because I hit mine in the water and I need to cup this. That's not good. It's the second time today I went from the water to the beach. That's not how you draw it up.
Deep in here. Oh my.
Golf is fun.
What a sport, man! Hey! What a sport!
Fun. It's a good game.
We're having fun, aren't we? That's why I wanted that picture.
As a Michigan man, I'm a Nebraska man. We have some pretty rabid fan bases, some great fans, and some rambunctious ones. Give me like a story, something funny that happened with an interaction with a fan. What's something crazy that's taken place with you?
Well, with my last name, it adds a whole nother element. So it wasn't necessarily a fan, but it was Coach Harbaugh's family. And again, like, okay, it's the first year that he gets there, so he's still like having to set the culture, and we're all like intimidated by Coach. Like we haven't earned the right to be his friend.
Yeah, he's a Harbaugh too. Yeah.
I had a good start to the season with him, and it was like maybe week 4, week 5, and I'm walking out of the building at like 6 p.m. as the sun's setting, and I hear my phone start to ring, and I look at it and it says Coach Harbaugh, and it's like, oh, why is Coach calling me right now?
Stomach drop.
I was like, man, should I answer?
No.
I was like, oh shoot. He's like, hey, you got a few minutes? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah. He's like, my daughters, they wrote you a song. They want to sing to you. So I'm like, okay.
All right.
So he's like, all right, I put it on speaker. And then Coach Harbaugh goes, 1, 2, you know what to do. And then his children in unison start singing, I like Jake, but and I cannot lie. So his daughters like wrote a remix to it's Sir Mix-a-Lot, right? Yeah, a remix to the song.
I
And
like it.
Coach loved it so much. Of course, I loved it. Closest to the pin for a cup of coffee. What am I getting myself into? Kenny is clearly a better golfer than me, but
Or I just want to keep the ball dry at this point because I've lost 2 already.
oh man.
Pretty good golf swing.
Where are we going? Starbucks.
Oh, I'm short. Oh, he's short.
You stayed up on the hill though. You stayed up on the hill.
Oh no.
Okay,
I was like
I'm hitting
looking
the
after it
7-2.
like it was sweet. So embarrassing. Like staring at it and it just lands 10 yards short.
Yeah. All right, I'll just hit another one, bro. Might as well. Why not? That's in the water in the other way, so.
We're donating.
Cup of coffee for you, Kenny. Cup of
thank
coffee.
you,
I
my
don't know
good
why
man.
I was the one to initiate that, but.
Sick. That's all right. Go in. That one plays.
What's the best round you've played?
The best round I've ever played?
Yeah.
I shot 69 like 3 weeks ago in my club championship.
Wow.
Nice putt.
Oh my. Rory.
That's why I'll never be great. Right there.
Rory. You see Bryson DeChambeau?
Oh yeah.
Epsom salt his golf balls. I think he's doing too much there.
I think he's usually doing too much. He's Bryson. Was happy to see him win that US Open though. Putting on a putting clinic out here today for the gang. Beauty, beauty.
if that stayed out, dude.
I bet the grounds crew that works out here plays holes back across too. This place is sweet. All right, Jake, I'm sorry. Sore subject, brother. You never got to beat Ohio State when you were in school, but however, you do have the national championship from last year. How many losses in a row would you trade to Ohio State for that national championship?
It's a brutal question.
Yeah, I know, it's not a very fair question, I'm sorry.
It's almost impossible to answer. There's an emotional side and a logical side. Like, emotional side would say, I'd always take a win over Ohio State, right? Just that's the rival. That's the emotional side, and there's some truth to it. But the logical side is the national championship is a whole different level.
It's everything.
When you win a national championship, and when you think of a season, if you win a national championship, nothing else really matters.
Nothing
like the
matters.
Headline, the first paragraph, the first chapter.
Nothing matters.
All the way is about the national title.
Right.
So you would trade as many as it takes in order to get the national title. But oh man.
But you want to beat them every year.
But my goodness, yeah, losing to them, 4 straight for me, and there was a couple close ones, and it was over. I think it was a decade, right? It was 2011 before Michigan beat them in 2021.
Yeah.
That seems about the maximum you'd take right there. 10 years of losses for a national title.
It's a good trade. 10 years of losses and then flags fly forever, man.
Yes,
There you go.
exactly.
Oh, it hit something thick.
Did it kick right?
That was.
I thought I saw something kick
hopefully,
right.
That was a squirrel's home, though. That was not a branch. That was a trunk. We just heard for sure. Nice ball, dude.
Did it get through clean?
I don't think so. I heard it hit thick. Yeah, that's not it. Searching for golf balls again in the woods. Not a lot of confidence from this distance after my that last par 3, but we're gonna give it a whirl. It's either in the bunker or on the highway. Neither are good spots, but we'll find it. Nice out.
Holy cow.
Wow.
You got that on camera. You got that on camera, baby? Woo!
That is really, really good.
Let's go.
Turn. Putter's not working very well today. It's a rental. It's not mine, that's why. What?
What do you think the read is here? I got a chance.
Downhill.
It's a par one. Downhill.
I think right in here.
That's what I'm thinking.
Match play, you usually don't tell your opponent where to putt, but he's a good guy.
Since you're winning by like 5 holes.
I don't know, man. That's brutal with the fringe right behind you.
See it? I know.
That one's good. All right, Jake, your draft year was what, 2016?
2017.
2017, all right. Talk to me about the league. How was your experience, being young, trying to get a foothold in the league? Tell me about it.
It's, rookie, it's such a drastic change where you're the best player on your team in college, and then you get to the NFL and you're nothing, and no one cares, what you did in college. It's also interesting how you go from the best player on your team in college, then throughout the whole draft process, everyone's blowing you up. You're the man, you're gonna be a great NFL player, you're gonna get drafted, you're gonna make all this money. Right. And then the second you walk into the NFL locker room, you're nothing, you're no one. Yeah. And I was always told as a rookie, be seen, not heard, just shut up and do your job. So to like earn the respect of your teammates, it's okay to make mistakes, don't be a repeat offender. Right. And then, do your job on the field and produce. So that was the number one thing. For me being injured, it was a little bit more challenging. Yeah. I was even further emphasizing like, shut up. Yeah. Don't make any words.
Can't make the club in the tub. That's not good. Go. Go. Please go.
Oh man, nice shot.
Thanks, man.
Oh my God.
I made one.
All right.
Thank you. Attaboy, nice 3.
Nice.
Remember those middle school days where you had to go down, like change into your physical education uniform and then go run a mile and then just go change back into your school clothes and go to class like everything was normal?
We didn't
being grown and do that?
We didn't change.
You didn't change?
Picture my out there, dude. We didn't change for PE or recess.
Oh my God. Recess,
I would be
but
full sweat like twice a day and just going to class. Still sweating. Hat, you can see right here. Can you see the difference there? Dark, light. So I am sweating, but I'm staying dry because of the towel, and I hit a good shot last time, so that's keeping me cooled off. So gotta finish strong. Couple more holes here.
All right, Jake. I know that injuries in the league are what held you back. I know I couldn't stay healthy at the right time, ever.
For me, it was all mental too, because like I tore my first ACL going into my sophomore year at Michigan.
That's right. Did you do it again your senior year?
And I did it again my senior year, but my first one, like that was my only major injury in my entire life. I was never injured. I was always dependable. Yeah. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy where no matter what happened, I was going to be healthy. I came back from that ACL in 6 months and 5 days. I played in the game literally 6 months, 5 days later. Dang. So, I come back from that, have no issues the rest of the way, and I'm like, okay, like one injury, all good. Then I tore it in the bowl game. I planted and got hit. Again, like nothing I could do. So my second ACL in the same knee, it took me like a year and a half to come back from that. Yeah. But I came back, I got healthy, I'm playing OTAs, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like I'm still back to that guy that will never get hurt, never be injured. Then going into week 4, we're playing the Chiefs on Monday night. I'm running down on scout team kickoff, bang, toward my third ACL. Okay. And what was really interesting at that point is I identified as a guy that was never hurt, was always able to overcome. Right. But people started to tell me that you're third time's the charm. You may not, you have injuries, you are an injured guy. So my identity, I felt it start to shift. I came back, got cleared in 9 months. Good, I'm playing. Yeah. 9 months I get cleared, 9 months and 1 day is report to camp, 9 months and 2 days, I re-tear both my meniscus. They repaired my meniscus, bang, I missed the whole year. Yeah. So again, like all of a sudden, like my identity was a guy that was always dependable, and then all of a sudden, I started to believe that I was the injured guy. It ended up working out where I retire and I joined the Big Ten Network. James Laurinaitis gets back into coaching, so that there's a role open as a broadcaster. So the year I retired was unfortunate, but the timing was actually perfect. And then in my first year, USC, UCLA joined. Eventually we hear about Oregon, Washington. Right. So here I am joining the Big Ten Network at like at the perfect time in history. I told you guys I grew up a Buckeye fan. Notre Dame was like my second team because my grandfather played for Notre Dame, so I grew up an Irish fan. And when I committed to Michigan, my freshman year, Notre Dame came to the Big House. My sophomore year, we were gonna go to Notre Dame, and that was the last game in the series. That series stopped. So when I committed, I circled week 2 of 2014, we're going to Notre Dame. My grandfather passed away, and in his will, he said he wanted to spread his ashes on Notre Dame's field. You'd be surprised that is a very commonly asked thing.
I was gonna say, are they allowed to do that?
Not allowed to do it. Notre Dame says no. So I knew I was gonna try to like do an FBI thing and sneak his ashes in there. So I tear my ACL Valentine's Day of 2014. I get surgery February 27th, 2014. Notre Dame was 6 months and 5 days post-surgery. So the trainers were like, I told them, I was like, listen, I have to play in this game. Adrian Peterson came back in 6 months, so I knew it was possible.
Could do it.
I was like, I can do this. And they're like, hey, listen, man, I just want to set your expectations properly. You're most likely gonna redshirt. If you do play, it's probably not until conference play.
Right.
I'm like, cool, that's fine, but just so you know, I'm playing in this game. Bro, I'm telling you, I hit every single milestone. After I got off my crutches, I didn't even need to ice my knee. I wouldn't even ice my knee after training. It just went like steady. Every week I was getting better and better and better and better. But wouldn't you know, dude, I played in that game. I got my grandfather's ashes. I spread them on the 50-yard line pregame. There's a beautiful picture of like the light came down and
That's
like
awesome.
It was all shade and then light came around me in the middle field emblem. The joke was my grandfather's in Ripley's, believe it or not, never lost a game from 7th grade all the way through college. Okay? Never. The worst he ever did was tie. He won 2 national championships. So the joke was, since I spread his ashes pre-game, Notre Dame wasn't going to lose that
there's no
day.
way.
They beat us like 30-something to nothing. So.
Uh-oh.
Come around.
Uh-oh. I never saw it.
I can't even believe it went that far left. I suck.
Right, left, beach, water. Got to see it. Got to take in the entire course. That way you can come back next time and play way better.
All I can hope for is a good hole 9.
Sit down.
You got a smooth golf game, dude.
Thanks, man. You know what? You just got to get injured in the NFL. Your career ends short, and then you get to practice golf a lot.
Well, what happened to me then?
Just get up.
I've been launching them long all day, so I'll actually, that's improvement in my eyes. Did I just send that, didn't I?
Yay. All right, we're on the last hole, hole number 9, flying by. We're playing such great golf. That's what usually what happens. You play great golf, it goes by fast. I have to ask you, we played in the Big Ten, just phenomenal settings to play college football. What was your favorite stadium and where was the loudest?
It's the same answer for me. Anytime I get asked this question, Penn State comes to mind.
Happy Valley.
Night game, my first ever start was at Penn State. It was a sunset kickoff. They went to a night game, triple overtime. They beat us. Yeah. But that stadium is the loudest.
Loudest.
Even in the NFL, it's the loudest. And it's just fun to play in.
It's so fun. Oh yeah,
come on,
shot
baby.
of the day.
That's dead on.
Dead on it. Nice.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you can't play that any better.
Only people that have been in the sand all day. Me and the gooses. Don't kill me, internet. I know it's geese. I like to say gooses. Nice
Coming
out.
at you. I think if I got out and played a little bit, I could be decent. Like, I'm not bad. I'm clearly not good.
Please hit the cup. That is what nightmares are made of. You try and get aggressive with a birdie putt, last one of the day, and now you're staring an 8-foot par putt in the face. It's a good looking putt. Nice.
Nice. Is that a par 5 or 4?
It's a par 5, good 5,
Oh
dude.
my goodness.
Yeah, good par.
Let's go.
And I shoved it. All right, Jake, fun round. Before we get going, I gotta ask, who would be, your dream golf partner, someone that you could host on Link Up? Who would you take out?
Dallas Clark.
Dallas Clark.
Iowa great. The Big Ten Tight of the Year is named after him. I would love to talk to him about why he never wore gloves. Just so gritty.
Because he's a savage.
Because he's a savage and he never dropped passes.
Nothing scary.
He's probably got some great stories playing with Peyton Manning too. So the Big Ten ties, tight end tied. I play with Dallas Clark.
That's solid. That was nothing scarier than when you walked out of the locker room and the opposing team and someone on the other team didn't have their gloves on, no finger tape, no wrist tape.
They were a lunatic.
It's like, oh my God, this guy's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, you're here for one thing, and it's to hurt people.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Jake. Appreciate you again, brother. Let's get out of here.
Thanks,
Let's get you back to work. You're a working man.
I like to think of myself that way, yes.